Welcome to Hero Wars Info. My name is Ryan. The Tournament of Titan Power is underway, and because of that, I wanted to create a video on what are the particular stats that you should be upgrading across all of the possible ways to upgrade Titans. Before we jump into that, though, the most important thing that you should do is have a Titan team that you are looking to upgrade. So, usually most people, and I would highly suggest that you do this, pick one of the three elements to start out with. So that's either water, earth, or fire. And once you do that, you really want to focus on one team and building them up before you start focusing on building other Titans up. So for me personally, I started with water Titans. So I had like the Sigurd, Hyperion, Mayari, and Nova. And I wanted to level those up so that this team could be as strong as possible. So whenever I'm leveling up any type of team, there are two key points and two key Titans that you want to focus on. Number one is the tank. Probably the most important, because the tank is going to be determining how long your team can stay alive. They're going to be taking the most damage. And in this case, for Sigurd, he has a skill that will allow him to basically block any damage for 5 seconds once he hits it. And because the element is water, he can be part of a totem, a water totem team that will actually heal him back up. So that's the reason I picked water. It just made it easier for dungeon, and it's just overall a very strong team to begin with too. But you don't have to pick that. But regardless of what type of element you pick or what Titan team, you should always be focusing on the tank Titan first, and then my argument would be going the super Titan second. So why is that? Tank is going to be taking the most damage. It's going to be the key to your team. If your tank falls, the rest of your team is probably going to fall pretty soon. So the longer your tank can stay alive, by far the better. A lot of Titan fights are whichever tank is going to die first. That can be a lot of Titan fighting. So having the strongest tank is a huge boon to your team. Now the Super Titan, in my case Hyperion, they have additional abilities, which is why they're so good. They have two abilities that they can utilize. So it gives them kind of an extra edge, and they're just more powerful overall than a regular Titan. So if I was doing a fire team, I would want to do Uraji and Moloch. If I was doing an earth team, I would want to do Eden and Angus. And those are the ones that you should be spending Titan potions on first. So I usually like to have my tank and my Super Titan at least 10, 15 levels higher than the other ones, like the marksman and the support. That's just me. If you'd like to keep them equal, feel free. But I had a lot of success on continually upgrading those two more than the rest of the team. So you figured out a Titan team. What are the skins that you should be utilizing? Now this is true across every single Titan. The default skin is much better than the champion skin. Doesn't matter what Titan you go to, the default skin will always be better. Now that doesn't even mean that it's going to get you more points, because one of the keys is if you're trying to win the Titan Tournament of Power, wow, tongue twister there, the champion skin for both Solaris and Tenebris give you a ton of points. So this can be a very nice way to get points at the end to push you to victory. But the attack skins, the attack here, the health skins, and as we go across, it's going to either be health or attack. Those are significantly more valuable than the bottom skin. Because attack, right here, that affects every single Titan. Where if we look at like Eden, for example, he has an elemental damage. Elemental damage only applies and only affects water Titans and damages them more. Attack does more damage to everyone. So it's significantly better than the other skins. So if you are focusing on trying to get your strongest Titan team, always focus on the default skin first. And you'll notice for a lot of the tanks, health is going to be their primary default skin. Again, that is going to be able to keep them alive longer, which will help your team win. All right, so we know where to spend Titan potions now. We know where to spend Titan skins. Let's go ahead and move over to artifacts. Now, artifacts are relatively straightforward. You see this bottom one right here, the defense seal, or the attack seal, or a balance seal. All of these provide significantly more value than the top two. Significantly. This gives them greater health, greater attack, and I think it's a health and attack for literally every single Titan. So it's absolutely what you want to build up first. However, these seals do have a different cost. They cost gold to upgrade, which can be very hard as a new player to spend because gold is very rare at the beginning of the game. As you get later in the game, it becomes a little bit more of an abundant resource and you don't need as much. But at the beginning of the game, it is very hard to get. So, because of that, you can only upgrade this so many times, and you really have to wait on the seals to keep on upgrading them. But if you had to spend resources, this is by far the best one to spend. Now, in terms of the damage, elemental damage or elemental armor, which one is the you want to upgrade? It's relatively straightforward. Now, each of those costs Essence of the Elements, right? So let's go ahead to one I haven't maxed out. Each of these are where you use the Essence of the Elements. And I am of the opinion that you should be upgrading the elemental armor for your tank. And if you are not doing a tank, it should be the elemental damage. So, for example, this Water Crown would be top priority for Hyperion. And this Seonger's Staff would be top priority for Hyperion. That is going to be true for all of the Titans. The further they stand back, the less important their armor is. So we take like an Ignis, for example. His elemental armor, he's in the back every single time. His elemental armor is by far his weakest stat. His elemental damage is more important than that. So you want to focus on getting elemental damage before elemental armor in those type of situations. So that's where we're going to be focused on Essence of Elements, depending on if it's a tank. If it's a tank, Fire Crowns, or these crowns and elemental armor. If it's not a tank, elemental damage. And then let's talk about totems real quick. So totems are what you will be able to utilize as long as you're able to get them from this Titan Valley and the Altar of the Elements. Now, most people don't have theirs maxed out, but a totem will basically give special abilities for you to utilize as long as you have, for the elements, 3 of those Titans in the group. So like 3 Water Titans, 3 Fire Titans, 3 Earth Titans. You can use 4, and that makes it go faster. Or 2 for this Dark or Light. It requires 2 to have the totem there, but you can also choose to use 3 or 4 there as well. Now, upgrading this totem is actually one of my top priorities for new players, and one of the areas where I'd say is probably the best use to spend emeralds. And the reason I say that is totems take a very long time to upgrade if you're a free-to-play player and you're not using emeralds. It will take years to get all of these totems maxed up because they require Gold League trophies. Now, these Guild Gold War trophies are only attainable if you are in a Gold League guild and you're winning battles. That otherwise, you're not going to be getting any or very, very few. So these are very hard to get. The max you can get is 210 a week. And let's take, for instance, this right here. I have this at level 123. To upgrade this requires 862. That's basically 4 weeks, actually slightly more than 4 weeks of winning every single battle in the Guild War, in my Gold League, to get 1 level. So this takes forever. So especially for your main totem, once you hit Silver League, I would not use emeralds to build up on bronze because you can get bronze trophies pretty easily. Silver trophies, you can try to utilize those as much as possible, but I don't mind spending emeralds there, and especially once you get into guild or a gold for this totem, then that's whenever you really want to be spending emeralds so that you can use a lot less gold Guild War trophies there too. Now, the other thing I should mention is these fusion skills. They are pretty brand new to the game, but they also do give points for the Tournament of Titan Power. So it is good to have those, and it will really help your Titans become stronger. That is actually something that I'm going to be doing on my live stream on Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, which is 3 p.m. GMT. So hopefully you're able to join me. I'll kind of go through what I think is going to be the best for each of these. We'll try to level them up, and we'll see where we go. But thanks for watching. If you have any comments, questions, put them down below, and we'll talk with you soon.